Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, welcome back to our channel. A petition with 2 million signatures was presented to President Joe Biden urging the release of a prisoner serving an 86-year sentence despite being completely innocent. To many's surprise, President Biden denied the request for release. Who is this prisoner who kept being held despite 2 million people from around the world appealing to the former president for her release on clemency grounds? The prisoner is none other than Dr. Aafia Siddiqui, often referred to as the most oppressed woman in the entire world. Joe Biden rejected the request to release Dr. Aafia, despite the fact that 2 million individuals had signed the petition for her release prior to his departure from office. This is the final action he could have taken to give the impression that he accomplished something noble before leaving office. Yet perhaps he preferred not to associate any noble deeds with his presidency. No other woman has experienced the entirety of the US rendition to torture program. A woman and her 3 young children were apprehended by the CIA along with their Pakistani partners. This occurrence is never before seen. This is the woman whose 6-month-old baby presumably died in front of her as he fell headfirst to the ground during the abduction. Her 2 other children, a 3-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son, were taken from her while she was taken captive on March 30, 2003 in Karachi. The agony she might have felt was of course boundless, yet her children also endured immense suffering. Both were sent to Afghanistan, where her daughter, Miriam, was placed for adoption with a Christian family, and her son Ahmed was imprisoned for the next 5 years. A 6-year-old boy was unjustly serving jail time, separated not only from his mother, but also from her sister and other family members. He was informed that from that point forward, he would be known as Hassan Ali and that he would encounter dire consequences if he stated otherwise. It is remarkable that the CIA, an agency dedicated to upholding the principles of the US Constitution, would engage in such actions against Ahmed and Miriam, both US citizens, particularly that they are children possessing US passports. In what ways did these 2 children manage to endure the psychological torment they experienced? Only Allah knows. During her time of abduction, she was initially in Bagram Air Base, Afghanistan, where she endured regular torture and was subjected to sexual abuse by the Afghan guards. After serving 5 years in Afghanistan, she was finally reunited with her son. However, her challenges intensified when she faced false accusations of attempting to shoot a US soldier. She was shot twice in the stomach by the US soldier. However, to conceal this incident, it was claimed to the judge that the soldier had merely acted in self-defense. This accusation has resulted in her serving an 86-year sentence in a US jail. She is presently locked up at FMC Carswell, a federal women's prison located in Fort Worth, Texas, where she is serving what amounts to a life sentence. She is subjected to brutal torture, mistreatment, strip searches, repeated solitary confinement, and starvation, with no opportunity to meet anyone. For the past 16 years, she has been denied visits from religious scholars, a right that should be afforded to every prisoner. The recognized scholar Omar Suleiman once attempted to visit her, but was ultimately denied. Upon their release, the inmates of the prison disclosed that they often heard cries and beatings coming from Aafia Siddiqui's cell. What could possibly justify the harsh treatment she's receiving? What offense has she committed? The only offense she committed was being a Muslim, as she was a highly educated Pakistani neuroscientist who obtained her doctorate from Brandeis University and was residing in the US during the September 9 incident that unsettled the nation. Noam Chomsky once stated, "Aafia is an institution in herself." Observing a Muslim woman fully covered yet achieving remarkable success in the field of education challenges the narrative that Western media has constructed about veiled Muslim women. Being educated in neuroscience, they attempted to link her background with someone skilled in creating destructive materials, which was of course false. The imprisonment of Dr. Aafia clearly illustrates the involvement of the Pakistani government in the sale of innocent individuals to the United States at high prices. enabling their detention without charge. Dr. Aafia Siddiqui's denial of freedom stems from the fear of exposure faced by those corrupt individuals who were well aware of her innocence. She could also disclose to the world the severity of the torture she endured at the hands of the US authorities. Despite the circumstances, there was a glimmer of hope that she might receive clemency as former President Joe Biden was departing from office. Additionally, her petition for freedom had garnered the support of over 2 million people globally, yet even this support was not enough to bring about her release. Dear brothers and sisters, remember to include Dr. Aafia in your daily prayers, asking for her well-being and freedom. Keep in mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listens to the prayers of His believers when they selflessly pray for one another. Regardless of Joe Biden's lack of mercy, it is essential for us to direct our petition through prayers to the most merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anas ibn Malik narrated that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, stated, "None of you will have faith until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself." May Allah alleviate the pain and suffering of our sister Dr. Aafia. May Allah grant her freedom and reunite her with her family and children. Ameen.